Hi, I'm Adam Gunton, founder and managing partner of Behavioral Health Partners. Today, we're talking about something we see and interact with every single day, social media, and its growing influence on how the world sees and talks about mental health. For years, mental health was a quiet topic, something you whispered about behind closed doors, something people were ashamed to admit they were struggling with. But in recent years, social media has kicked that door wide open. Now, it's common to see posts about depression, anxiety, therapy sessions, healing journeys, and recovery stories right alongside vacation photos and cooking tutorials. So, the question is, how are these trends shaping our culture? Are they helping, hurting, or doing a little of both? Let's dig into the real impact social media trends are having on mental health awareness and how we can harness this momentum to create real change. Let's start with the positives, because there are a lot of them. Social media has played a major role in normalizing mental health conversations. From viral TikToks about therapy breakthroughs to Instagram posts sharing daily affirmations, mental health is no longer hiding in the shadows. Platforms like YouTube and Reddit host hours of recovery stories and Q&As with professionals. And more, people are learning that it's okay not to be okay. This visibility has helped reduce stigma in ways that billboards and brochures simply couldn't. It's grassroots, it's authentic, and it's coming from real people who've been through it. When someone shares their experience with anxiety or depression and others comment, "I thought I was the only one," that's awareness in action. That's community being built. That's change happening in real time. In fact, many people say the first time they ever considered going to therapy or seeking treatment was because of something they saw on social media. But we also have to acknowledge the challenges, because not everything about this trend is positive. With the rise in visibility has come a rise in misinformation. We've all seen it, posts about trauma from unlicensed influencers, self-diagnosis trend videos, or wellness tips that sound good but aren't grounded in clinical practice. This can be dangerous. Not only can it mislead people, but it can also delay proper care. Someone might watch a 30-second clip about borderline personality disorder and suddenly decide that's their diagnosis without ever talking to a professional. Even well-meaning creators can accidentally simplify complex issues. Mental health is nuanced. Healing is not a one-size-fits-all process, and oversimplifying it for likes and shares can lead to false hope, comparison, or confusion. That's why providers and licensed professionals need to have a presence in this space. If we're not part of the conversation, it gets led by people who may not be qualified to lead it. Another important trend to understand is the rise of what I call aesthetic mental health. You've probably seen it. Pastel Instagram grids with quotes about self-love, videos of people journaling in the sunshine, or perfectly styled morning routines revealed as healing. While there's nothing wrong with making mental health content visually appealing, it's important to be mindful that recovery doesn't always look pretty. Real healing is messy. It involves breakdowns, setbacks, uncomfortable emotions, and hard conversations. If we only show the highlight reel of self-care, we risk sending the message that if you're still struggling, you're doing it wrong. As providers and advocates, we need to encourage content that shows both sides, the light and the dark, the polished and the painful, because that's what real growth looks like. We're also seeing a huge trend towards storytelling, and this is where social media shines. Platforms like TikTok and Instagram Reels have made it easier than ever to share personal stories in short, digestible formats. This allows people to connect with others going through the same thing in seconds. That connection creates a sense of solidarity. It chips away at shame. It gives people permission to speak up. This is something I've seen firsthand with Recovered on Purpose in the videos we've created there. When people tell their story with honesty and vulnerability, others begin to see a path forward for themselves. And that is incredibly powerful. Now let's talk about strategy. How can mental health professionals and treatment centers harness these trends in a responsible, effective way? First, join the conversation. You don't need to become an influencer overnight, but your voice matters. Share short videos addressing common questions like, what is trauma-informed care? Or how does group therapy help with anxiety? Answer the questions people are already searching for. Second, be real. You don't need to perfect lighting or a studio setup like this. Just speak from your heart, offer value, normalize treatment, talk about what therapy actually looks like, talk about what people can expect when they come to your center. Third, collaborate. Partner with creators who are already doing it well, especially those with lived experience. Let them help tell the story of your program from the perspective of someone who's been through it. And lastly, educate. Don't just promote your services. Share real knowledge. Offer tips for managing stress. Break down myths about addiction. Teach the difference between a licensed therapist and a life coach. When you lead with value, people listen. And when they're ready for help, they'll remember who gave them hope before they even picked up the phone. It's also worth noting that social media platforms themselves are beginning to respond to the mental health conversation. We've seen Instagram experiment with hiding like counts. TikTok now redirects users to mental health resources when they search for crisis-related terms. And many platforms are working to reduce cyberbullying and promote more inclusive environments. This is progress, but we still have a long way to go, which is why your role as a provider, leader, or advocate is so critical. You have the training, the experience, and the perspective that's often missing from the scroll. By stepping into the digital space with integrity and intention, you can help shape the future of mental health awareness in a way that's honest, ethical, and impactful. To close this out, here's what I want you to take away. Social media is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used to build or to break. When used thoughtfully, social media can normalize therapy, reduce stigma, educate millions, and help people feel less alone. But it can also spread misinformation, glamorize recovery, and trivialize real struggle. As behavioral health professionals, we don't just have an opportunity here. We have a responsibility to show up, to lead with compassion, to meet people where they are, and help them take the next step forward. If you're a treatment provider looking to expand your reach and message in a way that's aligned, strategic, and story-driven, let's talk. Visit our drug rehab marketing page or book a call with us to start crafting a content plan that reflects your values and reaches the people who need you most. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video from Behavioral Health Partners, your trusted partner in growth and impact.